turn to a verdict in a Jonathan Majors case. The actor was found guilty of misdemeanor assault and harassment for attacking his ex-girlfriend and then promptly dropped by Marvel Studios.
It seemed like Jonathan Majors had finally made a mark in the industry by landing the role of Kang the Conqueror for Marvel. With Ant-Man 4 being a success, Jonathan was on his way to the front line of Marvel's Phase 4. However, fans' expectations from the actor were shattered when the skeletons in Majors' closet came to light. The actor was exposed by ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, for domestic violence. Grace ended up suing the actor, supposedly sealing his fate. However, it turns out that it may not be curtains for Majors after all. New evidence has come to light which suggests that Majors might be innocent. Just what is this new proof? And is Majors really innocent? Welcome back to Celebrity Fix, where we will be talking about the shocking new evidence that proves Jonathan Majors' innocence in a domestic violence case. But before we give you the deets, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos.
Jonathan, what are your responses to the allegations? Jonathan, do you have any response? How will you clear your name? Megan, why is it important to stand by Jonathan today?
Jonathan Majors quickly emerged in the industry as the one to watch. Bagging roles in franchises like The Creed and The Marvel, Jonathan was on the path to the top. However, it all came crashing down on March 25, 2023. That day, Majors was returning from a Brooklyn party to his apartment in Chelsea when his then-girlfriend, Grace, found a text on his phone from a woman named Cleopatra. In a fit of rage and betrayal, Grace proceeded to confront Majors about the text. However, instead of owning up to his mistakes, Majors took an offensive stance. When Grace grabbed his phone, Majors ended up fracturing her middle finger. He then proceeded to grab her right arm, twisting it before striking her ear. Majors then grabbed his phone and made a break for it. Grace followed him around the block before Majors proceeded to grab her and shove her back into the SUV. Somewhere during the incident, Majors abandoned Grace on the sidewalk. She can be seen walking around, asking strangers for help to get back home in the video footage. The next morning, police received a 911 call from Majors, who had discovered an unconscious Jabari at his apartment. Upon seeing Grace's bruised state, the authorities promptly arrested Majors, marking the beginning of the end for him. During the trial, it was also revealed that the court was in possession of a report from the London Metropolitan Police and medical records, following another case of domestic violence between Majors and Grace. The court also released an audio clip where Majors can be heard berating Grace for coming home drunk.
What are you doing right now? Period. This is actually, period. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan?
He seemed to have a high opinion of himself, as referred to himself as a great man who Grace was supposed to support like Michelle Obama supported her husband.
You understand that? Because that team, that unit, right? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
Even with such damning evidence, Majors tried his best to spin a different narrative. His lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, made it sound like Grace was the one who was physically aggressive. In a statement following the incident, Priya said, "Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis, for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested." Majors' legal team also claimed that after running out of the car, Jonathan went to his hotel from where he sent Grace a breakup text. Upon receiving which, Jabari called Majors 32 times, accused him of cheating and threatened to take her own life. The legal team also released some texts between Jabari and Majors where she said, "They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me, and they knew we had a fight. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you." In another series of texts, Grace supposedly wrote, "They do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately." Grace also wrote, "I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry is my partner due to our communication prior." Unfortunately, this is how every abuser who has been accused of violence has acted in the past. They all use the same tactics, painting their partner as the crazy one. Despite his attempts to spin the narrative, Major's attempts bore no fruit. After a 3-week trial, the jury found him guilty on 2 out of 4 charges in a domestic violence criminal case, assault in the 3rd degree and harassment in the 2nd degree. However, they did find him innocent of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree and intentional assault in the 3rd degree. That said, this is not the actor's first rodeo. In fact, during the trial, as the prosecutors dug deep into Major's past, they found that he had a long history of abuse. In a series of text messages from September 2022, Grace and Majors discussed an altercation which left Grace with head injuries. Written with guilt, Majors called himself a monster and talked about taking his own life. Since the incident, several more victims have come forward. Back in April, Variety revealed that multiple people who had suffered abuse at Major's hands had stepped forward and were working with the district attorney's office. Rolling Stone then revealed that behind the facade of a charming young actor was actually an abusive partner who repeated the cycles of manipulation and violence for over a year. With all the evidence stacked against him, Jonathan is looking at a year in prison. Fans think that Jonathan deserved more, especially if this was not a one-time incident. However, for now, fans would have to settle for a 1-year prison sentence. The good news is that Marvel has already dropped Jonathan. He was slated to play the role of Kang the Conqueror in Marvel's highly anticipated Phase 4. However, as a billionaire franchise, Marvel cannot afford the bad press that comes from working with someone charged with domestic violence. Not to mention, it's kinda hard for him to do press interviews from behind bars. At the end of the day, Jonathan is not innocent. He fooled fans into believing that he was a kind and sensitive man who did not adhere to the ideals of toxic masculinity. But at the end of the day, Jonathan turned out to be the same.
But it's bigger than that. It's love. You know, it's like there's strength and there's vulnerability. There's awareness, and then there's acknowledgement of ignorance. A big part of it is kindness, use of power.
It's unclear what the future holds for Jonathan. He lost the biggest opportunity of his career, and fans doubt that others would come knocking. Majors had shown a lot of promise in his role in the 2019 film The Last Black Man in San Francisco. He then went on to bag a role in the HBO series Lovecraft Country, which pushed him in the spotlight. And soon enough, Majors was working with big-time franchises including Creed 2 and Marvel. Hopefully, Jonathan's victims can sleep at night peacefully, knowing that the actor is behind bars and no longer free to roam the streets. Judge Michael Gaffey has also barred Majors from having any contact with Grace. Hopefully, she can use this time to heal. And that's all for today. What do you think of the situation? Has Jonathan been punished fairly? Will he ever be able to return to acting? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. We will see you next time with more updates from the celebrity world.